After you slayed the Sylvan Dragon to free your allies, Carlos slew the spirit of the land in the region. Your group took a small amount of time to rest, and those who had been returned from the sludge pits underground became curious about the dead dragon's lair. As they crossed the giant tree trunk to investigate the area, your group, along with Father Raoul, could not bring yourselves to return to the place where the music died. In your hesitancy, you lagged behind the others, and suddenly you were surrounded by a magical dome trap created by none other than the Grinning Panther. It told you that it had been entertained by you up to this point, but now that you had wasted all of the power of the Sylvan Dragon, it could abide your interloping no further. The Grinning Panther displayed tremendous power as it summoned cacklers, grinning stags, and a mighty Bandersnatch to fight you. But you proved mightier. You cut through, burned through, and trampled through endless enemies, while Father Raoul's great faith supplied you with vitality to fight on despite your injuries. All the while, the Tamper Mage Thimmon Colewhisker transmuted the warped chaos magic within the dome, allowing you all to develop new powers and strengths. Eventually, however, the Grinning Panther struck Father Raoul with a fatal blow, ending his life. Enraged, Osint mind-controlled the Grinning Panther and forced it to dismiss its armies and dispel its magical barrier. Once it did so, the Hand of the Coven and Sorsinius caught up to you all and severely wounded the Grinning Panther with their magic. The Panther used its magic to vanish, but thanks to Thimmon, you're all aware that it has retreated to the very place you intended to go before, the Knock-Knock Lair. Although the Coven Hand was eager to give chase immediately, Osint demanded an hour to honor Father Raoul with a proper burial. A humble ceremony was held between the three of you. In the meantime, Otago used his telepathy crystal to contact Carlos and tell him what occurred. During the funeral, Osint felt something change inside him. The power of the healing light that Father Raoul used to restore his vitality again and again during the fight remained within his body, and as if it had some will of its own, it spread with a warming, comforting presence within Osint, removing some dark and sinister unknown thing that was there before. Osint, you may never know what lingered inside of you, but you do know that in some manner it is gone and Father Raoul remains with you. While you still linger around the grave, this time with Otago nearby, Lucius Otho, the Hand, approaches and says, 10 minutes, then we leave. We can't give the Panther any more advantages. Then he walks away to rejoin the people near the trees. Immediately afterwards, Sorsinius hovers from across the trunk bridge and approaches your group. His spectral form nods its head as it holds his blade-like body aloft. He approaches Luminous.
Luminous,
he says.
Come hither and cross this bridge. We have use of you.
You know that Sharam and Amir are across the bridge in the dragon's lair. What do you all do?
First, I switch my Zoom over to my iPad.
Okay.
Roll for it.
That's a mind roll.
I cast
Whoa.
double.
A losery duplicate.
Did you hear what he called you, Harris?
No, I didn't.
That's the kind of thing that a wizard would tell somebody. You a losery duplicate. All right, so Sorsinius has approached you, Luminous, and has beckoned you to cross over the bridge.
I give Osint a quick look to see what he would do. And if I get no response, I guess I go.
Is it really wise to remain here? As the Hand just mentioned, we should not be giving the Panther any advantages.
This will take moments. We found something beyond the door. It will interest all of us. Bring your friend as well. We did.
How?
Sharam used his magic to discern how. The gemstones were turned in a particular way.
I am very curious what is behind that door. As the
Yes.
Sylvan Dragon was no small feat to defeat.
Bring your Titanian friend. He deserves to come along.
When I say that, I glance at Killen and kind of give him a look. And Killen is muted.
I cast silence.
Speak.
This is the problem when I eat chips the way play. I eat that stuff. It's not annoying to everybody else. But I think I eat that stuff. I am visually hesitant because of my feeling about the music dying and such. But there's no way I'm these two with that.
Do you have something covering the mic on your iPad?
Yeah, it's a little hard to hear you.
Not anymore. I have my fan blowing right on it. So
Oh, that's better.
That'll do it.
That's way better.
Sorry, I've got a little fan on my desk, and it was hot in here when I came in, and it was blowing right at the corner of my iPad. I didn't realize that's where the mic was. Did y'all hear any of that? Or
Yeah.
Cool.
I was
So,
only half listening, so no, so sorry.
That's fine.
Sorry, I'm trying to figure this plumbing thing out.
That's fine. Just visually hesitant to go into the dragon's lair again, but not leaving y'all behind for sure.
Perhaps there's something that can help us.
Come along.
So he heads across.
I follow.
All right. As you guys are crossing over the bridge, you see Thimen there. He seems to be sort of looking around as if he's plucking things invisibly out of the air, things you can't see, and he's like winding patterns together in ways that it's as if he's weaving something together, but you can't see anything. He's very focused on this. And that's just something you notice as you're going by. All right.
And knock him off
Yes.
as I no, I'm just kidding. Into the water.
So as you guys go onward, you see the doors are open as you go all the way up, as you sort of shudder as you go in. There's no musical chimes as you
It's
You
so
cross.
here.
and I literally desaturated the
I was
color
gonna
of this
say,
image.
It's like very gray and
Mm-hmm.
Depressing.
I put a whole new image that I desaturated.
So I come back here to this little balcony area,
Mm.
and I take out my pipes flute,
Mm.
and I just lay it on this stone right here,
Okay.
as kind of a memorial / offering / mourning thing.
Yeah. Okay. Just a moment there.
I kind of take a moment of silence, and I join y'all up at the door.
Make some little lines to represent that. Okay.
Wilson is walking like they do in Dune, very unrhythmically.
Whoopies. The color came back for a moment.
The music. Oh,
All right, so what you find behind this door as you walk in, and they're all here, is there is actually a very small, just little chamber, not even big enough for me to have drawn it. It's basically just a little circular chamber. And however, the thing in front of you when you go in is what looks like a little altar with a mannequin stand made of wood in front of it, with a suit of heavy armor that has this sort of iridescent coloration to it, despite the lack of brightness in here. As Sharam is here, and you see him, he's using his natural ability that Arcanians have, where the lines in his face glow, and in the glow of his light you can see this iridescent pattern. This is not any ordinary suit of armor. It looks like it has a motif similar to the stylizations of a dragonfly, where the helmet kind of has a sleek, forward-facing, large sort of bug-eye look to it. And in front of this thing, there are two scimitars across from one another on this altar, next to a bow, next to some sort of thick, heavy tome with sort of arcane writing on it. And let me see what else there is. A whip that's coiled up right there, and a mask. So there's an armor, a book, that is you, or an armor, a book, two scimitars, a whip, a mask, and a bow. And Sharam looks at you all and says, I'm glad that we have at least a little time to look at what we have found here. I can tell just by the presence of these things that these are very powerful magic items, all of them. But we want to make sure that all that has happened here, we cannot leave these things here for some other creatures or people to get their hands on. But we want to make sure that we are using these wisely and spreading the wealth, so to speak. So, I've done a little bit of examining these things. And while my magic is not as useful here as it is in other parts of the world, I was able to divine some lore about these things. All I know is that these things belonged to some person called the Faebreaker. And I think that I've discerned a bit of what each of these things can do. So what I'm going to do is, in just a moment, I'm going to share something with all of you. Okay. If you look in the tab called Sheet 13, it's not named, it's just right next to the lookup tab.
That's a great
in
name.
your database. There are 6 items there, and I want each of you to choose one, because Sharam, Amir, and Sorsinius are all going to get whatever items you do not pick.
Nice.
So think carefully and pick wisely.
Oh, so we're getting extra features with these items.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, they work the same way as your other items, where they'll have
Yeah.
features associated with them. Just because I had some time, I'll upload at least what 2 of these items look like.
I feel like Killen would be using the bow personally, but I don't know if
Yep.
his character would be using it or not. I could be wrong.
I mean, I think that's entirely up to you.
It doesn't feel like it's something my character would use. So we do have a bow, but we aren't.
You are
fancy
using
like
a
that.
bow, right? Yeah.
Yes, but we're not fancy like that.
All right, so next to it, there's an image to represent a little bit of what the this armor looks like.
That's cool looking.
What is Faebane Aura?
I can read it to you if you want to just ask me if it makes it easier?
Yeah, I would like to know what the 3 things for the Fey Breaker armor is.
All right, improved Feybane aura. An aura of sigils fills your space, extending 3 spaces in each direction and follows you. It lasts until you end it, or you have 0 life points. You and your allies in the aura gain this benefit. Characters with the Fey ancestry feature make attack rolls with penalty against you. And it costs 2 spirit points to activate. So basically, anything that's a Fey rolls with penalty attacking you.
I like that. What was the other 2?
Tell me the name of it.
Glide.
Glide. As long as you're not prone, you have these passive benefits. When you're falling, you can choose to remain in the air as long as you are at a lower elevation at the end of your turn than you were at the beginning of your turn, and you do not take damage as a result of falling.
And then that was on another page. What's the other one?
Ethereal form?
Yeah.
Okay. This is a reaction that costs... I'm sorry, this is an action, I should say, that costs 2 body points. Your body and any items you are wearing or carrying become ethereal for 1 minute. While ethereal, you can pass through solid matter, you cannot be harmed by anything, and you cannot take actions, take reactions, or make attacks. You can end your ethereal form early at any time. If you cease to be ethereal while within solid matter, you take 1 damage and are immediately teleported to the nearest unoccupied space. So you basically become ethereal and unable to be harmed for 1 minute, but you also can't harm anything or interact with anything.
Gotcha.
So it basically allows you to ghost walk through stuff.
That's dope.
This
Harris,
may
what
be
do
a
you
dumb
lean toward?
question.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain what that last bit means on the bow? That the additional ranged attack as if it originated from the hit target.
Yeah. So every time you successfully hit a target, as long as you continue to successfully hit, and that basically this arrow bounces from that target to another target as from the target's location, as long as you keep hitting. So until you miss, it keeps that arrow keeps bouncing around.
Ooh.
That's like Yondu's bow.
Yeah, I was just thinking. Like his arrow.
Yeah, these are like relic level items here.
I know
This
what
is
I'm
sick.
picking.
Okay, good. So
I
neither of you
thought-
picked one of the 2 that I was thinking.
Were you looking
What?
at the spell book?
I'm thinking the spell book or the mask.
Yeah.
Because
I was-
the mask only because I'm also wearing that hood, like that
Yeah.
cloak, and I think it would look sick. But the spell book is awesome.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the armor.
All right. Yeah, is everybody okay with everybody's choices?
Yep.
All right.
Should I do the mask or the spell book?
I think the spell book's more powerful.
I think so too. Okay.
All right.
So I don't know. I was thinking about the mask too, just because that would be a really
Yeah.
really great ability to see invisible enemies.
I know.
So, for what it's worth, I would probably choose the mask between those 2, but I also understand why you would want the book.
Yeah, after any encounter with Fey hounds.
For real.
Fair. That's fair.
Your armor.
PSTD.
Your
The mind behind the mind shudder.
Your armor is heavy armor, by the way, so you're going to be a little slower, but you have a defensive 4 now, Luminous.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, worth it.
All right.
Let me look this
'Cause
up real quick.
I think I rolled them 5s on me now.
I'm going to copy this over. So while we're still deciding Harrison and Jackson at this point.
I've decided. I've got the bow.
You have the bow. Okay,
I was just giving my 2 cents to Jackson about his choice.
gotcha. So I'll go ahead and put that in your items. So you'll see it down at the in your item section.
Does that change? Do I have a special bow from somebody already?
You do. You have. You'll just choose which one you're using per turn, basically.
Which one is that?
You
is that
have
from Chrysithia or is that from?
Yes, you have. Well, no, it's from the deer. You have the dark stag bow.
Yeah.
Whoops. And for some reason, I have it listed as if it's your anklets. Let me find out what your old dark stag bow did real quick so that I can make sure I have the right information in it.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. It's pretty simple.
So am I just kind of carrying both of those with me and I can switch back and forth? Or...
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. Switch back as you want.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna
Because
take
that
the
might
book.
change my decision if I had to put that down.
Right.
Because I like that stag bow.
All right. What was that, Jackson? What was that, Osint?
I think I'm gonna take the tome.
All right. So I'm gonna put that in your
It's too powerful.
inventory.
What'd you get?
The book.
The book is strong, and I'm like, do we really need what's his name having it?
Yeah, you're also choosing what you're not giving to Sorsinius.
Ooh, that's true.
Yeah.
All right. So if you guys get all of these, then first, let's see. Who wants what here? Oh, okay. I know how this is going to work. So nobody got the mask, right?
No.
No.
All right.
Yeah, as incorrect, not Yaz, and I have it.
So, the whip, Sharam takes for himself. The Faybreaker mask, Amir takes for himself. And Sorsinius hovers over to these Faybreaker scimitars. And instead of he's already, you wonder for a moment, how is this going to work? And instead of his sort of formy, shadowy, cloudy self grabbing these, it dips down the blade, the blade, to touch the tip of the blade to them, and they absorb into the blade and change the shape of the blade, where it slightly alters in various places, where some of the elements that were also very dragonfly-like and sort of chitinous with iridescent parts, some of those elements form into the blade of Sorsinius itself as he absorbs these magic items into him.
Yes, this will be of use in a place like this.
All right. Did anybody look at what Improved Dervish Rush does, by the way?
Which one?
Uh-oh.
I'm just curious.
Which one?
Improved
I did.
Dervish
Now
Rush.
I wish I had.
No, what is it?
So
Should have asked.
now it's
Oh,
something
no.
Sorsinius says. So it costs some points, but this specific item alters it a little bit. For the remainder of your turn, you may make one simple melee attack against every character of your choice that you are adjacent to throughout your turn. So if you could be next to 15 characters during your turn, you could attack every one of them once.
Oh,
But
So
any
don't
attack,
be close to Sorsinius.
but any attack that you make in this way is rolled with penalty unless you spend two body points to roll the attack normally instead. That's what it usually does.
is
However,
that two per?
two per.
Yeah.
However, his particular version of it from this blade is the blade says, while using Improved Dervish Rush, you roll the attacks normally without penalty, and you can spend one body point to re-roll an attack, limit one per attack. So he's making normal rolls against anything that he's next to on his turn if he uses that ability.
Without penalty.
And then
he
can
already had improved Dervish Rush because of his existing sword.
Did he have Dervish Rush?
Well, the way you said it, it sounded like
I see.
He already had that.
Well, it's just the way that the item works is it slightly alters the rules for improved Dervish Rush. They're improved for him. It's like double improved, basically. All right. So you guys get all these things, and you know that it's about time that you need to head back to join with everyone to continue to chase down the Panther and get to the Knock Knock Lair. So is there any final business anybody has out in this region before you continue?
I feel like we just made a mistake.
I mean, pretty much whatever you left him with wasn't going to be great.
Yeah, fair.
I feel like the best thing we could have left him with was the mask. Because we're not...
Unless you ever found a way to be invisible.
No, but it's invisible Fae, right?
Oh,
and none of us are Fae.
That's true, yeah.
Like, it would have no effect on us.
That's true. All right. So, assuming you have nothing else here, you all pass by the exiting shot of this, if it were at a show, would be you guys going out of frame, and the thing that's center frame and focused on are the pan flutes there at the edge. Okay. So you all collect together, and you take one last look over towards the place where your ally is buried. And then you start heading northward, and there is much more of a march to your pace at this point. So what I'm going to do is show you the region. Whoopsie doopsies. There we go. Because you weren't far from it anyway. So you march and you march and you march, and your people... I'll sync your view here. This is your little thing. You go into this space over here, and now I get to finally remove one of these tokens. Okay.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah, a lot happened in that space, which is actually intentional. There's supposed to be a lot of things in that space below you. But okay. So you pass by, you find an area with pretty dense spider webs that, as you're thinking, oh, we need to go around this, Lucius Otho just cuts right through. He does not care. He goes through. He uses a necrotic ray to blast through a bunch of these spider webs, which do dissolve in the presence of this, and continues with the horrifying suggestion that necrotic ray defeating those means that there was some living essence in them. But you continue on. You get to this point. As you're going, Osint, you get a sort of a mental ping in your head, this sensation that draws your attention to the telepathy rod, the telepathy crystal in your bag.
I open up my bag and I reach for the crystal.
As you put your hand on it, you hear, "Can you hear me? I have been trying to reach you." You hear Queen Clover.
Warranty.
About your car's extended warranty.
Not interested. Hang up. Do not call list. Yes, Queen Clover, it is I.
I was not sure you were still alive. I tried you several days ago. Multiple times throughout
We've had a
period of
few
time.
days.
More than a few, it would seem. You were missing in action for quite some time.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that part.
Well, I'm glad to have communicated with you now. I wanted to tell you who we are with. I assume that you continue to travel with the Witchblades. Is this correct?
Yes, we seek the Knock Knock Lair now.
Very good. I wish to join you if I can. I will tell you who I have with me. I have Mahir of the Cryptusians, Mundor, a mercenary, as I have come to know. Red, I apologize, the woman. She has been calling herself Red now. And
Pardon?
presumably because of her red skin. But she is doing well. She is adjusting well out here, I think. Better than she was. And it is only the four of us.
I communicate with Luminous and forgot to rechange your name, Killen, when you switched devices. And ask, do we have any objections to Queen Clover, Mundor, Red, which is
Who's Red?
you know who.
Oh,
She
that who?
should not be named.
You should not be named Red.
But it is named now. And who was the other one that was with her?
Mahir and Mundor.
Mahir. Yeah, that's right.
Mahir being Luminous's good friend, the gargoyle.
That's my guy, the
Pretty
goat.
cool.
Where is Tyrannus right now?
When we were separated from the others, when the campsite was overrun by monstrosities.
I put the crystal on speaker.
Yes, you can do that. When we were separated from the others, as the campsite was overrun by monstrosities, I believe the Titanians managed to collect into one group. They are all together. At the time, he was the only thing he had been able to do in his strange meditations is build kind of contraption, a cage for himself that he is being carried in. That is the only thing I know.
Did he have grinning sickness?
Were you were out? Were you aware of what happened? How he healed your allies of their sickness by taking it onto himself?
Your character was, but you were not.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It was quite something. I have never seen quite the spectacle that I witnessed, but somehow, in ways that I still do not understand, he was able to take on their sickness, but it took quite a toll on him. Already he seemed atrophied from his recent experiences from just before when I met you. This has taken an additional toll. He is only able to do a few things, and now, at the end of this time, assuming that he is still out there and well as he can be, he has to constantly be in a near catatonic meditative state to resist what is inside of him.
Bummer.
Keep in mind that we do not have much of the antidote left.
Well, he has done well, and he is strong, but I would advise you to trust that there are others taking care of him and looking out for his best interest. Your people's strength is in exactly that, the people. I know that they will do what is necessary.
Queen Clover, will you hold for just a moment? And I put the crystal on hold, and there's some nice like jazz music that plays.
There are these little floating sigils around it, and you sort of adjust them to the dial way down.
Yeah, I turn it to the correct XM station.
The jazz music makes us all very sad.
It doesn't quite sound right anymore. It doesn't sound jazzy.
We've gotta
It's
get
a
out
sad
of this
song.
place.
It's a sad song. It's a word.
And And I speak with Killen and Luminous in a hushed voice so the others don't hear me. The woman who is now calling herself Red. I do not feel that she has a hold of me any longer. There was something inside of me that left when Father Raoul died. It was replaced with something I believe to be light, something warm and of divine nature.
Well, that
However,
sounds good.
I don't know if putting her in the battle we're about to go to is a good idea. It may awaken something inside of her. She may still be unpredictable.
I like your
But
thought.
can we trust her not in the care of Queen Clover?
Right.
So what I'm hearing is we have a loaded gun, and we're handing it to someone.
It's more
Who
like
is
a
no-
bomb.
Fair. So a
And it
nuke,
is live.
a nuke that is being
Ocean's
launched out of a
great
vehicle.
with radiant bottle bombs.
As history has taught us, yes. But as Killen suggests, can we trust her with anyone but Queen Clover? And if Queen
Have we
Clover wants to join us,
Have we thought about casting lots to see what happens?
No.
Are you saying you want to divine what happens by throwing dice?
I think that's our only option.
here we go.
Wait, what are the numbers we're rolling? For what to what? Are we
1 through
leaving her
6.
by herself?
You tell me.
I feel like a 1 to 3. She
Wait,
doesn't
he
come.
does have divination powers.
I just got a 5.
I have divine ancestry.
He's like, let's just trust. I mean, I'm supposed to sit on a throne of destiny, right? So destiny's like fate.
You know what? We've been through so much. What could possibly happen? I say we let her come.
Sounds good.
I turn the jazz music
Either
off.
we win and we get off this island, or we die and we don't have to deal with it anymore.
Let's roll the dice.
It's a win-win, honestly.
It's kind of a lose-lose, but I'll take it.
I'm
Oh.
ready for this to be revealed.
I was thinking like a cup half full situation. Wait, so did we decide what we're rolling for?
I just
I don't know why we're rolling.
No, I'm unmute the
We're-
crystal. I take her off a hold and be like, yes, we would be honored if you would join us.
Yeah, it looks like she was coming anyway. So that's what the
I
dice said.
already said it. and
She's
then I see-
already here.
Very good. I will find my way and make sure that we can join you when you are having your assault upon the knock-knocks. Have you run into anything too terribly difficult to deal with out there?
Sister, I don't think we have the time to cover it.
Very
We'd be
well.
happy to regale you with the tales when we are all done here.
Very good.
I killed the music.
Now, the only thing of interest that we have run into, aside from vine creatures that I know the locals call creepers, are some drakehounds, or drake wasps and feyhounds, all of which we dispatched. Mostly me, to be honest.
Hey, keep the stingers of the Drake wasps if you haven't.
It is too late. But I did want to ask, young one, is your gargoyle friend always so impassioned by the ways of words?
Can you explain that to me in a different way?
Sorry,
He is
Luminous
incessant.
is not impassioned by the ways of words.
He's yapping.
I believe you once described it to me as yapping.
Oh yeah, he knows how to talk to talk. He's big into that.
He won't stop yapping.
Very well.
Hang on, talking. As the kids might say he is
You just look up slang.
Slang for talking.
Yeah, I can't find anything. I mean, there's a word, but I don't know what this word is, and it makes me kind of uncomfortable, so I'm not going to say it.
Good.
Now I want to know what the word is. Put it in the chat. Put it in the
Sit in the group text.
Having lived for many, many years as an undead creature before I became as I am now, I have to admit, my patience is more limited in my vitality. But I will allow you to go. Go on to the Knock Knock Lair. I will find you there. And we will help, and in time, as we have agreed upon before, we will use this opportunity to get closer to Grammy Grins and kill her.
I found the word, by the way, that I just sent in the group message.
Oh
We will
boy,
see you when you arrive.
I don't see a
even know how to
group
say
message.
Did I send it in the wrong one? Did I
It's in
send
the
this one?
text. It's in the text.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to pull it up on recording.
That's, yeah.
I've
Just in
never heard
case.
this word, but
That makes me really uncomfortable. I don't know.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I've never heard of that.
You
It's
sure you didn't
something-
look up slurs?
It says it's something that's not trendy at all. That's what it means.
it's
Apparently.
the opposite of trendy. It was.
Ah.
It is a.
Yeah, but how do you pronounce that?
Is it demure?
Chuji is
Very mindful, very demure.
All right. So as Queen Clover stops the crystal call, you continue on for a while. You have this opportunity. The people you're with, if you want to get a quick reference and look at them, are in the group tab over to the far left. These are all your companions if you want to have any dialogue.
Canyons. You said this is group.
Mhm.
Oh, could you ask them and
where
either
are
You were just
on the map? I don't.
you were
even-
going north from where you were.
north of the spider? It's our little group medallion.
Syncing the view.
yeah. Well, it synced the view earlier, and then it took me somewhere dark and black, and I couldn't see. So I had to unsync it and find
It's a
it.
dark forest.
The Forbidden Forest.
Okay.
But students aren't allowed there.
So-
As we're walking, I would like to
Mhm.
see what is Thimen still like doing his little woo woo in the air, or if he,
No, he's ceased that, and he's been on alert, and you see his eyes flashing with his magical sight to see what's around.
Thimen, was wondering back there on the fallen tree, were you trying to divine what kind of magic by which the panther was summoning his shield?
No, lad. It's a kind of chaos. There's no point in trying to understand that inscrutable stuff. What I was doing was using some of the latent magic in that blood that you spilled out of the panther, and I'm now incubating something, so to speak. Chaos pebbles, chaos stones. I think that because of you all being in there, specifically because you were in there, and the way I was able to use my tamper magic to alter the physiology and the things that you're capable of, I might be able to give you the opportunity in time to do that with greater frequency, as you will. But right now they're growing. Do you know what an atom is?
I do.
The
Right.
man. Sorry, bad
John
joke.
pipes up from the back.
I know
So-
that word.
So to speak, the chemical structure of the atoms that were there were wrong. Not stable, but because they were not stable, I put an encapsulation of magic around them. From within them, altered the nature of it, created a volatile field, a field to keep the volatile properties inside. But I think as this incubates, if these work correctly, you'll each be able to carry one of these. There are 3. and go under the same effects you were doing before. It might only work once a day, but nonetheless, there's a chance that you could have some input into what happens to you, what changes in you, physiologically or otherwise.
That would prove quite useful.
I think we could use all the help we could get out here. See, it wouldn't work for any of us because we weren't in there with you. You were already changed, so these things, in a sense, were bound to you and through you. It's just a matter of making those connections.
If there's anything I can do to help your process, please let me know. Your particular brand of magic intrigues me.
Just keep me alive.
I will do my best.
I'll let you know when they're ready. Does anyone else have anyone they would like to speak to?
I kind of look like I'm gonna talk to Villas Voris, and then I see she just looks really mean, and I turn away and keep walking.
She does look mean.
Vilas Voris is actually continues to look between Killen and Luminous multiple times, and she seems to be thinking very deeply. Furrowed brow.
Is this an angered, furrowed brow, or like I'm in quite?
It's hard to tell with her.
Can I roll for perception?
Sure. Yeah, you can roll to understand her. What this is, you could do a spirit roll. This is more to do with like understanding an emotion with the person. Oh, 6. You think it's more of a curiosity than anything.
Oh.
Maybe a tinge of anger, but that seems to be just part of her.
I think I walk up to her and ask her, how's it going?
So she, of course, is about 2 feet tall. And she walking along beside you there.
How tall do I say that Luminous is?
You're like 6 feet or so. Something like that.
I feel like he gives off like he's either 6 foot or 5'11" and says he's 6 foot. Like he gives off that kind of energy.
Yeah, 6 foot.
For sure.
Yeah, that's the kind of energy he gives off.
She looks up at you, and did you say something to her?
Hi, how are you? You look like you're in thought. Anything I can help you with? I'm looking down in actuality.
I guess. Perhaps. Just to be rid of all the boredom of this trip. What does it feel like? This sickness inside of you.
Imagine losing control of your body and finding something you normally don't find funny to be the funniest thing ever, and you can't control yourself from not doing it.
Yeah, that's what I've heard from my people as well.
And then you just murder them. It kind of just happens. I haven't done it yet. Nah, maybe I have. I can't remember. There's been a lot of killing of people recently, so I'm kind of just like avoiding the thoughts of it for some of it until I can see a therapist. Because right now I feel like I can't talk to anyone about it, because if I cope with that, I might go into depression, and that's not the time. Anyway, yeah, it's an interesting experience. Why are you interested in it? Do you want it? Like, what makes you think about it?
Luminous is just trauma dumping on this spell dwarf.
I'm kind of hanging over to the side. I've been smoking my pipe just like in thought, but I'm like raising my eyebrow because I hear Luminous talking, and I'm just like, what is happening right now?
She says,
also, sorry for the trauma dumps. I have ADHD and can't control myself on what I don't share.
She says, well, what I'm actually interested in knowing is what's the experience like now that people look at you with suspicion. Because some of us have had to have the suspicion of being murderous our entire lives because that's just what people think of our species. So all the things that you just described specifically about, do I want this? Do I have these kinds of thoughts? They're the kinds of things that people assume about us anyway. That's the life of a redcap. That we're all murderers. So what does it feel like now that you've never been exposed to this, that you're some ordinarily, conventionally attractive person, and then now it's all suspicion?
Is she hitting on you?
Luminous just kind of chuckles and goes, "She thinks I'm attractive."
It's the only thing he heard.
No, he didn't hear. He heard all of it. But he did think that he did he puffed his chest out a little bit, hearing conventionally attractive. After getting turned down by the last two people that he had hit on.
I very subtly drop the end of my war scythe down and trip Luminous.
No, so Luminous's response is something along the lines of, it's been it's not great, and it's something that I wish I could have control over, but in fact it's not. And I mean, I can see what you're saying. I haven't experienced it until recently, but I can only imagine what it's like to have that entire experience throughout your entire life. Like, it seems very unfair. Like, I don't think that you're a murderer. I mean, you're here with us, so we don't really have a choice to kill those things, but I don't think that you're a murderer, and it's unfair that people just judge.
Oh, I've murdered plenty of people.
Oh. Do you want to be considered a murderer then?
Let's get this
I don't
straight
think you're a
out. It's
murderer
very
because you're
true.
a red cap. I think you're a murderer because you're a witchblade.
Yeah, can I ask that question? Is it because you're a red cap or because
You're not fat because I hate you. I don't hate you because you're fat. You're fat because I hate you.
Luminous just goes, "Oh, do you like murdering people, or is it just like something you have to do as a witchblade?"
Because that is the question, isn't it? And she looks legitimately like she contemplates this sometimes. I was killing people before I was a witchblade.
Was it like something you grew up doing, like your family, your parents, or whoever raised you taught you how to do? Or was it something that you just did on your own? You're like, "Ooh, look at this animal," and you killed it to see what happens.
The first people I killed were my parents.
Oh,
Yikes.
Why?
Because they were going to kill me.
Oh, well, I mean, that doesn't make you a murderer. That's self-defense. But did you enjoy it?
You ever killed a parent before?
I have not. I was an orphan and then kind of just got raised by several people.
But I'm about to kill a grandpa.
Yeah. Not my parent. I've killed other people, but not my parents.
It's part of the culture. You get old. You know you're gonna die. You have to test your children. If you succeeded in life, they kill you first.
I don't think that makes you a murderer. I think that's just a tradition among y'all's people. If that's
Well,
everything,
aren't
like-
you culturally sensitive?
like think about like the praying mantis. Is there praying mantis in this world?
There is now.
Are
Yeah.
now?
I was like thinking about when they're mating. After they mate, the female eats the head and kills the male. I mean, it's just it happens.
Is that what you're into?
She grins and says, "He's thinking about mating."
That is not what I'm into because I don't want to die. It's just I was just making a point that there's a lot of different things out there, and we can't always control how we're raised or what these characteristics are. I mean, Killen and Osen right here, I'm completely different than how I was raised versus them. But I mean, look at us. We're all here at the same thing, and we're all trying to get together and not die.
I don't know what I expected when I was talking to you, but I didn't expect this kind of perspective.
Yeah, I try to keep it on the DL. Don't go spread this too much. I don't want people to expect much of me. I like to surprise them.
Well, may we bleed together as friends if we bleed at all.
Hopefully we don't bleed, but sounds good.
So yeah, Luminous, legitimately referring to something in your backstory where your adoptive parents were cultural studies professors.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a go ahead and say that you get 3 experience points for that, Luminous.
Luminous is pulling ahead in XP.
Joke's on you, I already had 2 from the previous fight in my head. So
all right. And
I think
Killen,
I'm 5 ahead.
were you interested in trying to interact with anyone in particular as you go on?
No.
Okay. All right.
He just sat there and listened to me drama dump and then keep talking. He's like, that's more than enough talking.
He's just smoking his pipe.
He's like, this is too much. I'm done. I'm out.
Sad.
That makes sense.
Why are you sad? Oh, because
Why aren't you sad?
Have you been on this island?
Yes, but dude, you missed the part where I said I'm just ignoring all the
Luminous is like,
bad-
weirdest field trip ever, man.
Luminous is also trying to just cope by just ignoring it right now and just stuffing it way down and hoping that it eventually gets fixed after we get off the island, because right now he doesn't have time to deal with it mentally.
There's a stop in your party, in your group, as everyone slows down. Lucius at the front, and he reaches for his blade and keeps his hand there. As out of the woods, you see several sort of lumbering people getting closer and closer out of the shadows. They're clearly wearing rusted armor, thick knight-like armor, and have sort of little trails of vines and ivy around them. And I'm gonna put an example in Owlbear to give you an idea of what one of these look like. This will not be to scale. It'll be just a picture. All right.
It's huge.
And one of the details you notice is that each one of them has a sort of, whoops, that was really big. A white rose that's a little bit withered on a pauldron. And at first you think there's only like 3 of these guys, and then you realize that as they're coming out, there's an army of these guys. There's probably more in the woods behind them, but you see at least 15 right away. And one of them in the front looks at you all, turns his head a little bit. You see these large antlers sticking out of the helm. Takes something out of its, like a satchel or a pouch. It's a little tiny metallic stone or metal item that has this little kind of blue sheen to it with a tiny hole in it, and it looks through it at all of you and says,
Not what we sought. And yet, this is not the seat of the throne of destiny.
one of the other ones whispers to this guy something. And this guy visibly sort of gets a little bigger, and you sort of get the sense of anger here.
You helped the betrayer. You were in league with the betrayer.
I lean to Osin and ask who the betrayer is.
Who is it that you think we're in league with?
Do not try to deceive us. We know of your dealings with Cassivia.
That's what I was afraid of.
Just thinking about her.
Yep.
I'm totally against her, and we can fight her.
Killen dated her, sort of. So
I mean, I made out with her.
I did not. She made me uncomfortable the entire time.
when I hear the name, I just look at Killen.
He has flashbacks of a good time.
His face is flush.
It's like, that's my girl.
You,
Oops.
You're in league.
with Cassithia.
We will destroy you. We will find her, destroy her, and we will find our queen and return her to the throne.
Who's your queen?
Speak not, mortal. Die.
And these guys are clearly getting ready for battle.
Oh.
Alright, hang on. Can we time out real quick? I don't remember this.
How big?
Who is the queen?
You guys only know that Cassithia called herself a handmaiden of the Queen of Roses.
Queen of Roses, that's right.
But they're not the Queen of Roses because
Then Cassithia kind of like took over that region.
Cassithia specifically asked you to kill the gardener because she said that the Queen of Roses really wanted that gallows tree and that she was basically needing the gardener dead. And she later revealed, oh, now she can make her alliance on behalf of the Queen of Roses, is what she said, with Granny Grimm's by taking over for the gardener and managing that place, the gallows tree. That's what she told you.
Gotcha.
How would you describe the terrain or structures in this area?
I would describe the terrain as
Whatever
this.
I want it to be.
As forest.
As jungle. And hold on.
If I create a giant fire, what kind of dangers such hazards could occur?
Well,
How
what
dry is this foliage?
it's pretty wet. That's
Okay.
one thing. But depending on the
Well,
like inferno levels of heat could make a difference in that, right?
Well, that might be what I was thinking of using. That makes stuff catch on fire. So
Okay. Let me first find you guys because I'm having trouble. Hold on.
nope, that's not me.
Ooh, I'm so tiny.
I
I'm gonna hide it. I want to hide.
into the ground and start wrapping them in ivy.
All right, give me a second. Let me put them on here so we have a visual.
So if I create a giant fire thing, does that burn his ivy?
Robs?
There's a lot of questions happening. Hold on.
Let's see
All
what
right.
we're up against.
Let's see. Who else we have? Ivy. Yeah, so you still do have a healer.
So she was telling us that we were trying to get a better place for the Queen of Roses, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So she allegedly was trying to help the Queen of Roses.
Allegedly. All right. Here we go. Let's do a couple of these guys. Maybe more than a couple.
Do I guess, still have the blessing?
I have mine still.
Yeah, I think two of you do.
I have mine as well.
So I might have
Harris,
used
I
mine.
feel like you used yours.
I think you used yours. Somebody did. I wasn't sure who.
I think it's me. And I have not buried tribute under a rose bush again yet.
I got
Seriously,
Try to-
just thinking about before you brought these guys up, I was just that's fun.
I was just hoping we never had to deal
lot
with this again. And you said they're twice our size or 3 times our size.
No, these guys are your size.
Then who is the really big one?
No, that was just
He
a
wasn't
visual
really
representation.
Of how many there were?
That was just a visual representation to give you like an idea of what they looked like.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I
Like
misunderstood.
at the cereal box, enlarged to show texture.
Yeah. Enlarged to show texture. Perfect.
That's it. That's on me.
All right. So now this happens. They're clearly getting ready for battle. So do you want to go into battle mode or do you guys want to do anything else?
I don't want to do Let's see.
Luminous thinks it's battle time, and he's popping his neck and stretching, shooting some fire in the air, getting ready.
I say,
Pew pew.
did the Queen of Roses not like her position as gardener?
Oh, hold on. I have to move this thing over a little bit. No, that's fine. Okay. They don't seem to respond to that with any. They're not dignifying you with an answer.
We were told we were helping the Queen. My apologies.
You would be told you are helping the Queen when the usurper seeks the throne.
And so they are getting ready to attack. You have a moment to make any decisions.
Don't see how this is our problem. We did not mean to betray anybody.
I don't think they.
I didn't
care
mean
at this
to.
moment.
Ursa's like, I don't want to fight.
I ready my scythe.
Luminous is like, I was born to fight. At this point, it feels like
Fine.
Killen
Alright.
starts stretching. I feel like your guy would have immediately wanted to fight too, though. Or
So what's
no.
gonna happen for
I'm
managing
sad.
for managing
I
the
don't
way that
want
this fight's gonna go? I'm gonna separate it out into groups as if it naturally separates out into spaces. So what I want you to do is choose one character that you want to be among you guys for this fight.
Is it Themin?
Not Scorsenius.
Themin? The hand.
Themin.
What about the hand? He's a pretty good fighter.
Are we each picking one?
I want you all to agree on someone.
Oh, I gotcha. And we're gonna be together.
Yeah.
I got
I
it.
feel
So
like the
fourth person to the party real quick.
the
Okay.
top three to me would be, the two magical people and the hand.
We're missing somebody.
Who are we missing here? Otago
And the bald dude,
and Amir. Yep.
Amir.
We don't care about Amir. He's a pawn.
Otago might be good to have.
I don't even know Otago's abilities.
He big.
He big. He big boy.
He's very smart and his teeth are sharp.
Yeah, you still haven't talked to Otago about the dream you had, or it's like,
Luminous
I've met a
keeps
weird
forgetting.
like a weird luminescent shark man.
Who had the dream?
You
You
did.
I forgot.
Still
about
haven't told him about it.
I'll tell
He
him
was
after
like,
this fight.
please tell my brother in arms Otago.
If we're gonna
Right,
be honest, I
cool.
completely forgot. I forgot that even occurred.
It works out because your character has ADHD.
I feel like the hand would be very useful here.
That's what I was thinking. Him or Themin.
I'm just
Yeah,
so
well-
untrusting of the hand, but
Yeah, but he's
Yeah,
also
yeah.
being attacked.
Killen and the hand
Fair.
have not gotten along.
Me and the hand are kind of like soul bonded. So
It's true.
True that.
if he dies, I die. I think. Is that how that works?
That's essentially the way it was described to you.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna die. I guess they
It's
wouldn't.
like,
have
oh,
soul
yeah,
Well, then I
watch
guess
this.
we need to protect the hand. All right.
Did I tell the other two that I soul bonded with them?
I don't think so.
You told them that the mouth licked your hand.
I was like, it was very uncomfortable and awkward.
This is
Old
this
lady
is
just going,
news to me.
ah.
I feel like we would have made some different decisions over the last couple of games.
There
If
are
we
so
had known
many
that
threads that I am trying to wind up as we're trying to reach a season finale. So
There's a
everything that has come about right now, I'm not introducing new elements. I'm winding into like all the established elements that need a little bit of closure.
Okay. Well,
Alright, I say we go for the hand.
I guess we're going with the hand.
All right.
He's probably the most powerful of everyone.
All right.
Can I have ability to pick up Luminous?
No. Oh, yes.
I mean, no's fine too. I'll just make you do it.
There we go. Now you can control your characters.
I'm trying to hide behind Osin. Osin, get on top of me. Get on top of me.
All right, I'm gonna put.
They'll never see it coming. Where are they going? Are they just running?
I'm just putting people in different areas to represent like how a fight breaks out and people get moved around.
Or Togo. Are you putting them in the top right to make it 4, 4, and 4?
Yeah. All right.
We should really work on our title grouping when we walk.
I guess I feel like I should be in the middle or back because I'm not very strong.
2, 3.
I say that. I'm a little strong. I'm not super strong.
5. All right.
I'm not killing strong.
Not superstitious, but I am a little stitious.
I am a little stitious. Some might say a little superstitious or medium stitious.
Medium
stitious.
Yep.
Did I get rid of my charge feature?
You still have charge from one of your items. So if you scroll down, I'll show you how to see it. Yeah, over on the right, your feature details at the bottom of your sheet, you can see charging strike. So these gear feature details, like, you don't have enough of them displayed to truly represent all the features you're capable of as a result of your equipment. But if you go over to the far left of the screen, you can sort of type them into these boxes over here to be like, oh, I want to see what improved empowered shot does, so I'm going to type that in here right quick because it's part of my Faybreaker bow, etc. All right. So, well, I'll start with you guys. It is your turn, the beginning of combat. What do you do?
Well, I guess I should go first.
Alrighty.
Because I want to cast Inferno.
Okay. So, read
away.
that out. Read that out to us.
You create an event. It lasts until combat ends or until you use 2 actions to end it. While the event is active, these effects occur. Every character rolls a body skill challenge, and it says 2 to 3 in parentheses, and it goes, the character takes 1 damage, and then if it rolls a 1, the character takes 1 damage and gains the burning condition.
So this affects every character, including you guys. So potentially it's not guaranteed to damage you, but it's technically a big inferno all over the place. So you're casting it
for how big of an area?
The entire battlefield.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
So everyone will be has a chance to take damage.
Well, I hate that.
That includes the other ones that like around Otago and then over there.
This is worse than I cast Fireball.
So maybe Grinning Sickness isn't affecting Luminous, but he
his ideas.
But stupidity.
You see his hair shoots way up in the air, and as he's just sort of conjuring all these flames up, the first time you've ever seen him do this, and all of a sudden this inferno of red and blue flames all over everything here. So at the end of your turns, then the creature's turn. So at the end of the round, that's when this event takes place. So it'll happen once per round.
Once per round?
Yes. So not once per turn. It's not like after everybody's turn. It's just at the end, after you guys take your turns and then the creatures take their turns. That's usually the end of a round. Then the second round starts. But at the end of every round, Inferno will force everyone to see if they're affected.
Holy crap.
All right. So that was 2 actions, I assume.
Yeah.
I smack Luminous with the back of my bow.
That's action number 1.
Hey, if the rolls are in our favor, it goes great, and if not, I'll just turn it off. It's fine.
This could be really cool, guys.
When we're all in a dying condition, I'll turn it off. I swear.
I could turn it off faster than that. Don't worry.
Look what I can do.
All right. Very good.
Okay.
Now, who's going next? And do you want to move the 6 spaces that you can move now?
No.
Okay.
I do have a question though. How do passives work in battle? Because I've never had a passive.
Tell me which one you're referring to.
Divine Recovery.
So it just anytime you use the recovery feature as a result of an enemy rolling a 1,
Okay.
you just have those extra options.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. Yep. All right. Who's next?
I'm
Killing
gonna
Osen.
Go ahead, Jackson.
I'm gonna go step around Lucius and swing at this guy with my scythe.
Alright.
Can I have a reaction to that?
No, not for your allies. It's for enemies.
It's worth a shot at that.
All right, you
Worth a shot
do
at
that.
asking.
They
He
don't.
sidesteps me.
They basically get 1 XP. All right.
They get
What's your
1
second
XP.
action?
I'd swing again.
Right. So
A 3.
3 does not hit.
Oof.
Okay.
Not a good start, guys.
Now killing.
I want to play with my new bow.
All right.
I have a question. Are these people made out of wood?
They, as you look,
Rusty metal, weren't they?
there's rusty metal that they're wearing.
Okay.
And it looks like if you examine them, there's a lot of like woody tendrils and like little vines and ivies hanging out of them, and you can vaguely see what might be bones under those.
So if they would it be? Never mind. Okay.
What? Man, it's so hard to remember all of the things that different items do.
Yes.
How have I never used what the Sylvan Rose armor does?
I don't know.
Anytime I make a melee attack, I can grapple someone?
Yep. Well, it has changed a little bit from the old version, so I don't know what the old version did.
Yeah, I don't think that was part of the old version. That doesn't sound familiar.
But it should be a little better at least. So
Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna use my Faybreaker bow. So is that just like a simple bow attack?
Yep.
Shooting an arrow, and then I can keep rolling for it hitting new targets. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. Cool. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. And if you use
start,
just to give you some clarity, in a situation where you use something like, because that would be a simple attack, it would work just fine. If you look at how your Feybane attack works.
Is it the improved version or the normal version?
He has the improved Feybane attack.
That one's really good.
So it doesn't cost you anything extra to do this. It's just if you use it and the target happens to have the Fey ancestry feature, then it does more damage to them. And with the improved one, you also roll with favor if they happen to be Fey. So even if you were using a Feybane attack on a completely normal human, it doesn't give you any additional benefits, but
I can roll with a favor.
But you would potentially roll a favor if it was a Fey and you didn't know, right?
Oh, gotcha, yeah. Okay. But that's not the whatever you call it, the feature of the bow itself where it can keep moving the thing.
Yeah, it's one of the extra features. So basically with the bow, you could use Feybane attack and the other thing that the bow says you can do, you could be using. So you could combine those. So it's because the bow says whenever you hit a character with an attack.
Oh, so just that I'm using that bow, and then I can use that attack from that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, as long as you're using the specific bow for it.
Cool. So it doesn't have to be a simple attack. It can be any attack with that bow.
Exactly.
I got you. Cool. Well, yeah, let's do that then.
Okay, so you're using the Faybreaker or the Faybreaker bow. Are you doing the? Are you trying to find out if this guy is Fey? Is basically what I'm asking.
Let me also look up. I don't have room in my left-hand column here.
Yeah, you can just replace one of the other ones and see what it says.
Okay.
Just remember that your total speed is 8, but anytime you use up one of your speeds, you get to traverse 2 things. So basically, your speed is 16.
Gotcha. I just wanted to see what the improved in power shot was.
Yes. So you could, because this is a reaction, you have an unlimited amount of reactions. So you could do everything we just talked about. And this reactions now just cost you skill points. You could also add, you could just spend 1 body point so that when you hit a target with a ranged attack, you increase the damage to the attack by 1.
Okay.
So
what's the reaction there?
So the reaction just means you're basically tagging it on to another effect.
Cool. Okay. Gotcha. All right. I just wanted to read those real quick. Cool. So yeah, then let's go with the improved Feybane attack. Why not?
Okay.
Using the bow. And 6, baby.
Okay, and technically you would be rolling with favor, but we'll just keep the 6 because it's the highest, because these guys do qualify as Fey.
Nice.
So not only do you do 2 damage as a result of, well, the way this describes the Feybane attack, it's not an additional damage for the major hit. You see the major hit on the Feybane attack says the target gains the injured condition. So what happens is it takes 2 damage, it gets the injured condition, and if you want to, you could just spend a body point to make that 3 damage instead with the empowered shot as the reaction.
Yes.
All right. So using that once, that goes ahead and it hits that guy, and you get to go ahead and for free just make another attack with this against another guy. And you're rolling with favor here.
Okay, I'm rolling favor.
Because it's a Fey, yep.
Favor.
What'd you get?
4.
Okay, that hits. And do you want to spend a body point to increase the damage? I'm not going to ask you anymore. You just tell me when you do.
Let's see here. Yeah, 5 body points now, right? Sure, why not?
All right. And because it was a successful hit, you get to bounce that arrow to another one.
Okay.
Okay. Now my question is, do you want to bounce it back to the first guy or a new guy?
Yeah, let's go back to the first guy real quick.
All right. And yeah, keep rolling until you miss, basically, right now.
2 1s.
Okay. So he bounces back to this guy, goes through him, hits the one in the back, hits this one. What I didn't do before, what I wanted to do is make sure that this is something you can use once per turn. So I'm going to slightly alter your thing.
Which one once per turn?
The Faybreaker bow's effect. So once per turn, whenever you hit a character with an attack with this bow. Wait. Once per... Nope, that doesn't... Okay, never mind. So technically, you still have one more attack because that was all part of your first attack. Because
Gotcha.
your first attack had all those attacks tagged onto it, but improved Feybane Strike is one action.
Okay.
So
And so
That is
you're
super
limiting
powerful.
that.
so you have one more attack right now, and no limits because I can't think of how to word it right now. So we'll just do rules as written.
Okay. Cool.
I'll fix it later.
Alrighty. Cool. Well then, let's do that again. Yeah. So just I guess going back to this first guy again.
All right.
Five.
All right. That one dies, and the arrow bounces from its spot. And who is it going to hit now?
Hopefully this guy. 3.
Okay, so goes past him, whizzes past him. All right, and you can move up to 16 spaces if you want to.
No, I'm gonna chill out right here.
All right, so that is everyone's turn there, except for your ally here, Lucius. So Lucius will. Let me actually bring up his thing so I see what he's gonna do, and then it'll all be cream cheese from here. Hope you're not lactose intolerant.
I don't think I've ever heard that phrase before.
Did it make you uncomfortable?
Is it
I
wouldn't
didn't
say-
love it.
I wouldn't say that.
All right. Let's see.
Would you describe it as chuggy or more demure? I don't know what either of those words mean. I shouldn't be saying them.
I didn't even hear what you said. What'd you say? I was reading something. You're like,
All
never
right.
mind.
Yeah.
So he's going to attack the guy right in front of him. And yeah, I'll just use the dice you guys can see. Transparency. It's a 2, but let's see. What's this weird ancestry feature say? Oh, that's a different thing. Yeah, when combat begins, you gain 1 use of favor, which you may use at any time before the combat ends. So he's going to re-roll that with part of his ancestry feature. It's going to be a 2. So by default, it's going to do 2 damage as a simple attack. Then he is going to use the feature called Barbaric Smite. A hit target takes 1 damage. Oh, so that was part of the 1 damage thing. So that plus 1 additional damage per every 3 body points that you spend. So he's going to go ahead and, sorry, this is supposed to be improved. So 2 body points. 1 second. Okay, so he goes ahead and spends 4 body points so that he can increase this damage. So he does 4 damage with 1 hit. And then
Is that good? That seems good.
And then he's going to do another attack. And a 4 will hit, and he will do a little bit more damage. And let me see if he has any special things. Okay. Yep. My notes. Burst melee. Good. And that one he's gonna use. Yeah, he'll just use actually improved vampiric strike because it's 1 action, so that will go down to 6. Okay.
How much?
So he does 2 damage with that feature. Okay. So he does 6 damage on his turn, and it is everyone else is fighting, and I'm resolving that stuff later in a different way. So now it is these creatures that are attacking you guys. The first one next to Osint goes ahead, takes this rusty blade, and let's see. Let me just look at his details real quick. I don't think there's any special thing here. Okay. All right. So he rolls a 5. That should have just been 1, actually, but we're going to keep it because they were both the same thing. Okay. So he rolls a 5, hits you. You feel like this, you see these little particles of your blood as they swipe out of you that just sort of go up in the air and siphon onto his body.
Ooh.
And you take 1 damage. And then he does it again. All right. And I don't believe a 3 hits you.
My defense is 3, so.
Okay, yeah, so that doesn't hit you. All right. This one over here is going to... This one over here runs over to Killen. Makes its first attack. It will hit. And you take 1 damage. And then it makes its second attack against you.
He because of my spikes, and he's making a melee attack on me, he is gaining the injured condition.
Gotcha. Does that require you to use a body point?
It does.
Okay. All right. And then he attacks again and then misses you the second time. Okay. Then we've got this one running over to Luminous.
Hi, how are you?
Your defense is 4, so that does not hit you. And then it gets a crit. So he does 2 damage to you.
That hurts.
This guy here. This one runs over and jumps over onto the back of this guy. They're outside of these like spots in the armor. The root and tendril things inside of them coalesce into one, and the armor continues to sort of break apart as this happens, as it becomes one of them, and it goes down to having -4 points. Okay, and then it makes a swing. And it is parried immediately. All right. And it swung at Lucius Otho. All right. Now, let's look at Inferno.
I was hoping you'd forget about that.
Nope. All right. I'm going to go over and look up here. Is this improved Inferno, by the way?
No.
You said that real fast.
I didn't know there was an improved Inferno, to be honest.
All right.
Improved Inferno just says doesn't miss ever.
So everybody needs to make a body skill challenge. Roll a body skill. You can only re-roll this once if you choose to re-roll it.
4.
Your goal is 4.
Oh, thank goodness.
I got a 5.
1 body point. So Killen's dead. Killen's burning.
All right, Luminous, what did you get?
I got a 5.
Okay, so Killen, you re-rolled and didn't work out.
I rolled a 1 twice.
Oh no!
All right, it looks like this is gonna happen to him too. So this intense heat of these flames all
What about
about.
What about the bad guys? What did they get?
I'll get to them.
Okay.
Um,
Who wants to punish us first?
Sorry.
but yes, what did they get? I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4 for them.
What
All
is
right,
that?
only one succeeds. So
One gets, what is that? The one with the one gets 1 damage and the burning condition.
I'm doing them just based on placement.
Fair.
So, however, these things are Sylvan. So what is one? Or these things are made out of plants, right? So they're actually, this is taking 2 damage and the burning condition. This guy is taking 2 damage as well. And not only injured, it's burning. And this one is burning. So fire is particularly effective against these guys.
Just like I thought.
All right. Then it's back to you guys. So while you have the burning condition, it's at the end of your turn that you're gonna, until you get rid of it, by either standing in water, having some sort of like water effect on you, or using
Two turns.
I think it's 2 actions. Let me see. Let me look at what it says. Burning. Where did it go? Where are my conditions? Did I lose my conditions page? There they are. Burning. While burning, the character takes 1 damage at the end of each of its turns until it is within water terrain, or it uses 2 actions to end the burning condition on itself. All right. So it does.
So your whole turn.
Yeah, it takes a turn. All right. Oh. So that's where we are. It's your guys' turn.
Okay. Okay. I missed
just
swinging,
swinging?
and I move backwards.
He's like, no thanks.
I move. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna move here, and I'm gonna attack the tall guy, the big one, and we'll go the one that's -5, and I'm gonna use an improved fire blast on them to hit both of them at once.
Okay. One action to hit both at once.
I got a 6.
Okay.
So that is.
And it says to roll once for that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what does it say on a major hit?
A target takes 1 additional damage, and then they gain the burning condition.
All right.
They didn't already have it.
Burning. This one is dead.
So since it was a 4, would it be a 3 since that person is also made out of wood?
It's just going up to 2 in this case. So
gotcha.
Yeah. But go ahead and you have 1 more action.
Yeah, I was gonna do another fire blast and shoot the big one, and then the one that's right below me.
Okay.
And I rolled a 4.
All right. So that means that this guy is 7, 8. Okay. And down here. Okay. Very good. And then Killen.
What did I have to do to remove the burning condition, or
You can use both. You can use both your actions to remove it, or just take a damage at the end of each of your turns, or find a way to submerge yourself, or like basically douse yourself in water.
Okay.
Do we have any water nearby? It does not appear so.
It doesn't appear so. You can try to escape out the border of these maps, and I will put another randomized jungle map in. Emphasis on the random.
Emphasis on random.
Yeah, I'm just gonna use both my actions. I'm gonna. run over this way.
All right, so you're getting rid of the burning condition on yourself?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. That means it is their turn. So this one that's burning attacks Luminous. And let's see. Okay.
That hurts.
That's gonna hit, and it regains 2 points of life as you lose 1.
So I should be at -3. That -1.
Yep. I did that completely backwards. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And it attacks again. Same thing. It heals itself
Whale.
with its vampiric strike.
Whale. That's unfortunate.
As it slices right through you twice. And now you recall that Casifia also, when she kissed Killen, took some of his blood. And when you were asking the Scarecrow, the Keeper, about what she was, he essentially described them as the vampires of Fae, the Rose Dryads.
Mm.
This one over here runs over toward Osint.
How dare.
That's a hit.
Yep.
It heals itself. And you take 1 damage, and it strikes again.
Good.
And yeah, they're hitting. This one, Luminous, you're kind of the closest thing to it now.
Yeah, don't like that.
You're at 4 life, right?
I'm at 3.
You got hit a second time by the other one, so I think you should be down to 4. But -4. Oh,
Well,
-4. So that means you're at 3 life. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, this one hits you, and you take 2 points of damage
2.
because it is a large creature. And it's going to attack you one more time. Do you still have Bulwark?
No.
All right.
But I am going to use that to regain 2 life points.
Yes, you will.
And
all right. And hey, yeah, so you
I.
have Divine Recovery, and yes, you are within 3 spaces of it, so you can as well.
That should be -4. Ooh, that was not fun.
So that means you're how much health do you have then? 3?
I have 3 in.
Yeah. Do you guys just differently? 2 down 2, that means you're at 5 out of 7. Okay. All right. So they do that, and then it's Inferno time, so everybody make a body roll. Oh, sorry. One more thing that happens.
Dice hate me.
I'm gonna, because I said sorry, I'll let you re-roll that one, but one of the things that does happen, I forgot, it's his turn. He goes ahead and comes over here. Lucius does. He's going to be wise. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He goes ahead and 3 does not hit. No, 1 does not hit. These guys benefit from that. All right. So he's useless. He also takes 1 damage from the burning.
I yell, Luminous, turn it off.
Okay, now everybody can do their body rolls.
I rolled it too.
I think you need to use some physical dice.
I'm gonna use my last body point and use my physical dice.
Yeah.
That's another thing, is I'm out of all my skill points right now, except for
Oh,
mine.
no.
4? Does 4 work?
Yes, it does.
Oh, thank goodness.
Okay. All right. What did you guys get?
I got a 5.
Okay. Good.
I got a 2.
Oh no. All right.
Hold on. I have one more body point. I was saving it for something, but
Just save it and take the 1 damage.
yeah, okay.
Mm.
I think
You're gonna gain the burning condition as well.
You don't gain it on that one, do you? No,
Yeah,
it's
the Inferno says.
it's only if you get a 1, you get the burning condition.
Oh, well, we did something backwards then. So to remedy that, I'll go ahead and you can make sure that you're at a 6 life instead of.
Well, he did roll a 1 earlier.
Did you really?
Yeah.
He rolled 2 1s.
Okay,
I rolled 2 1s.
Never mind. That's right. Okay. Yeah. So you take the. That's right. Okay. All right. Let me roll for these guys.
Oh no.
So you.
I think Jackson should roll for him.
Alright, there we go.
So the one
I
at
messed
top.
something up in my spreadsheet, and you can look at my level later. I'm not sure
Okay.
what that's
One second. One second. I'll do that in a moment. This guy.
All right.
right
So
here.
how many life points should I have right now?
4.
You should have 4 out of 7.
Okay. I accidentally I was trying to change that, and I hit my level, and I got into like your coding, and I.
Oh, that's funny. You can control Z. See if that.
I just clicked undo. Does that help you? Nope. Helps me though.
Yeah, control Z a few times until you get out of there. Oh, I see what happened actually. Hold on. I can fix that. Watch this. Look at that.
Yay.
Fixed it.
All right, cool.
Now, back to it. Okay, so those guys all take some damage as this Inferno continues to blaze through. So that's the end of round 2. And I'm going to put a few little notes here for myself.
How's everybody else doing?
I've missed every attack.
No, I mean like the other groupings around us.
If you hadn't noticed, I'm using.
Well, you can't see this group way over here because of the trees in the way. And
how's it?
I'm just gonna
going.
I'm just gonna say the same thing for this group because I don't want to answer. All right.
I mean, I was just curious. That was not.
There's definitely fighting happening.
We hear a lot of going on.
All right, so that means we're back to you guys.
Okay, are we ready for me to roll physical dice this round?
Yes, we are.
3.
Better than 1.
All right, so 3 does not hit this guy.
Neither does a 1.
Yep. Okay. Oh, you got a 1. Okay, hold on.
That hurts.
All right, they're using their recovery. Okay. And yeah, it might be a time to consider using some of your the battles are there for you to try to use your special things if you have them.
You mean with all the points I have in my
Yes,
skills?
Exactly.
Which is none.
You don't have any that don't use skills?
Just use items.
So I'm gonna.
All right. So who's next?
I'll go. I'm gonna move back. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to use 1 spirit point to use the totem of Jarniska fragment to gain back 2 health points.
Okay.
So that puts me at 5 out of 7. Then I'm going to shoot a fire blast at the big one and the -1 burning.
All right.
I rolled a 5.
Very nice. And you have one more, and you used the totem to heal from 1. Okay.
Yep.
And then Quillen.
I actually was also going to summon my totem of healing.
All right.
Oh, that's 2 actions.
It is 2 actions.
I don't want to do that right now.
All right. It does work differently now than it used to. It's more of a thing with a radius that everybody in it benefits from.
I saw that. That was cool. Still not gonna do that yet. I'm gonna do the improved Fabane attack again, and shoot Big Papa over here with my Fabane bow.
All right.
That's a 4.
All right. So that's going to hit.
And I do want to use my last body point to use the improved empowered shot and increase that damage by 1.
All right. This guy dies. And as you do that, and you can bounce that arrow to someone else.
All right. That's a 5.
All right.
To the one, yeah, right there.
And since it hit, you can bounce it to the other one.
All right. And that was 2 damage to him, right?
Yep.
All right. That is a 5 again.
All right. It can bounce back.
That's a 5 again.
All right. This one dies.
And one more
can bounce back.
A 4.
All right. So it does that, and you don't have any other enemies within range. So the arrow, after going there, has nowhere to go but out into the jungle.
That arrow's kind of crazy.
I love that. Please don't change it.
There is going to be one minor change to it, but it'll still be really good. All right.
That was my first action, right?
That was.
Cool. How far can I move again with my anklet?
16 spaces.
All right, so I am going to run at Homeboy over here with my War Scythe and using my Charging Strike reaction to give him 1 more extra damage. If it works.
Does it require you to use any body points?
I just meant the. Oh shoot! That does use a body point. Never mind. So yeah, I just run at him and hit him with the scythe.
All right.
No extra damage, but that is a 5.
Okay. So very good. So he takes 8 damage from that. Okay. Lucius will go ahead and miss and just, he's not doing so well right now.
Yeah, he's not been helpful.
Nope. All right, and he's on fire and he doesn't care. And then this thing will, let me see if it's, this is the 3rd round, so give me a second. Nope, he doesn't get his special thing. Okay. So he goes ahead and he is going to swing at Osint. 3 does not hit. A 5 should hit. And it builds itself that way. And then it takes 1 damage. All right. Who wants to take this thing out? Oh, well, let's ask the Inferno.
Myself.
Let's ask the Inferno first. So everybody make a body roll. There you go, Lucius. Oh my goodness.
I got a 6.
Okay.
I got 2 again.
Lucius holds on. Let me just mark that. A 2 again?
Yeah.
All right.
What did the bad thing get?
Bad thing. Succeeded.
Rip.
Ooh.
What about Osint?
I got a 3.
All right, so you're gonna take a damage unless you use a body to roll, which I don't think you can.
Nope, don't have it.
All right. All right. So there continues to be a fire blazing all around here. This is the end of the third round, so you start to see that some of these trees that were so full of humid liquid inside of them, despite the air not being very clingy with humidity, start to catch fire. So I'm going to make a few little spots to represent that. That is way too bold. Hold on. All right. And okay, so now it's your turn. Who wants to do it? Osint, I know you're eager. All right.
I just lie down and die.
You try and try.
I hit it with my worst side.
I literally don't have anything else besides like melee attack and swinging with my vampiric strike. That
Yeah, I mean you are more of an. This is exactly what an advisor would end up being doing, right? It's like you can't really use your advising skills.
Well, I've used all of my skill points except for
Yeah.
one mind point, and I can use that on plan mastery.
All right.
And
Alright, I'm gonna swing my worst side at it. That's a 5.
All right. This thing takes the damage.
I swing at him again.
All right.
Oh, but that's a 1.
All right. And Luminous.
I'm gonna shoot him with a fire blast.
He comes charging.
So I got a 2. Guess we'll go again.
All right.
I got a 4.
I didn't. We moved to Luminous before I moved. But
Oh, you can move. You can go ahead and move.
I just want to get a pace or 2 away from him.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a 4 on the second
Yeah.
one.
There you go. All right. This thing, well, this guy over here, upset that he's not hitting things either, goes ahead and he's going to do vampiric. He's going to heal himself. And then he's going to attempt one more time, getting frustrated. And he takes a damage. This creature attacking Osin again, single-mindedly, heals itself again because it's actually been a.
Jeez Louise.
And then attacks Osin once more.
Let's go.
Okay, everybody, that's you can use your recovery feature if you're within. You're all within, so you can use recovery.
I get 2 spirit points back.
I did the same thing.
Ooh. I don't know what I want to get back.
I think that was right for Lucius. Yeah.
I'm gonna regret this. Okay.
Oh, well. I didn't realize that he had that.
Didn't you create him?
Yeah, but it's been a long time.
Fair.
He also has created 700 features.
That's fair.
Yeah, he'll use that extra one. So Lucius actually does have improved divine recovery as well. So he'll just use it on a random one of you. No, it's not going to be random. He's definitely going to do it with makes the most sense for him to do that with Osint. So Osint, you'll be at 4 out of 7. Because he gets to split his recovery points.
Nice.
All
I
right.
solemnly nod at him. We're in the missing melee club.
Yes. And then this creature takes damage from the fire. Okay. Now,
Does it need to it already attacked.
everybody needs to do the Inferno check. Okay, Lucius is good. The creature is good. Oh my goodness. You need to just stick with the physical dice. Something is wrong.
What did Jackson get?
A 1.
Okay, me too. I don't feel so bad.
Oh.
Hold on. I'm going to use that body point I just got back on recovery to reroll.
That's kind of unbelievable.
Did Jackson leave?
I think he did.
Oh, he did. I think it's him.
Alright, so he's at 3 out of 7 and he's burning. Alright. Somebody killed this thing.
I am leaving.
You need to roll a physical die and see what it gets. I only thought you were broken of your curse.
Got a freaking 2 on the physical die.
Alright, who's killing
It's
this
better
thing?
than a 1. I thought it was going to be a 1 the way you turned around and walked. I'm going to shoot it with the stupid improved Faybane attack
Alright.
thing.
You're rolling with favors, I don't miss.
Got a 6 the first time, so let's...
Alright. This thing goes right through it. And it breaks its armor apart.
I
Alright.
yell, die, as I do it.
I guess I turn off Inferno.
Alright.
Thank you.
So all the fire.
I look at Luminous, I say, was that necessary?
All the fire dissipates. And as you guys hear all the clattering and fighting in other places, this is an opportunity to go see what's gone down, but you feel you hear the fighting die down.
I take 2 turns and put myself out of my misery.
Yes. All right. So as everyone goes about and sees what's happened, I have to roll for this actually. 1 second. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'll do that as a 10. Okay. What you find is everybody's killed all of these things, but there was one injury and 1 casualty.
Come on, Sorsinius, die!
Gom, the fungal folk, is gone.
No!
He's gone, but not
He's
forgotten.
gone, but not forgotten.
Oh.
And Thimen is injured.
No!
Well,
We're gonna put it under here as severe injury.
can we heal him?
All right. So that's what you learn as you come across the battleground. What do you do?
Can I make a totem of healing to give to Thimen?
Sure.
Can I stand next to it and take health?
Yeah. Yeah, because it's an immovable thing once it's on the ground.
As he does this, I'm also going to use the sanctuary staff to create like that 6x6 area to try to also speed up our healing or recovery time from sleeping.
All right. So Thimen, there's this sort of lodged in blade that's sticking out of his side, and it almost seems like the reason it can't go out is because this blade is a little different than the rest of them. It has these little spurs on it that are very thorn-like. The rest of them are using sort of rusted old swords. This one seemed like a sword that was made out of some kind of mystical vine, rosy material that came out into the form of a blade. And he, as he's in the presence of the healing in the sanctuary, he says, "Oh, no worries. This is one of the downsides of being a tamper mage, is that when you're tampering with magic, sometimes it tampers a bit with you. Luminous, you told me once that you had a friend who was affected by magic that was very difficult to heal, right?"
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's what I've got here. The problem is, it'd be great to be able to keep this weapon, whatever this is, but the only option at this point is going to be to break it. And if any of you know anything about magic weapons, that is very difficult to do. So, need to think for a moment. Lucius comes over, and he's no longer burning. He looks over at Ivy has pulled Gom over, and he sees that, nods to her, says, "Leave him." Leaves him there. He comes over and says, "Dwarf, how bad is it?" "It's pretty bad, but I don't want to slow you down too much. And I know you've got something you've got to do, but I'm not in any shape to continue with you right away. I can find my way, I can survive out here if I just get to a place that I can lay low for a while." "Good, because we're moving on. Any of you that need to stay with him, this is your chance." And Sharam says, "Well, sure, we cannot leave him," but he looks over at Amir and Sorsinius. "I think perhaps it would be best if I stay with Thimen to make sure that he is safer. We can figure this out together. We are both well versed in magic. But Amir and Sorsinius, you should continue onward." So they agree on this, and it seems like Thimen is going to stay behind. But he looks over to all of you and says, "My friends, I haven't forgotten about the fog. What I plan to do as soon as I get better, I think we can figure this out within the day or so. So we're going to head in that direction that I've marked in your map, so that's where you can meet us. Once you're done killing the knock-knocks, or whatever you're doing with them," he sort of side-eyes over to the Witchblades, "come find us at the fog. We've got to remember, it's 2 big things we've got to do, and that's one of them." "I'll be alright, just got to figure this out. However, here," out of his bag, he pulls these tiny, tiny little pebbles that have this, they look like marbles with a swirling essence inside. "You'll know when these are ready." And he gives one to each of you. Just let those incubate for a while.
Thank you, Thimen. Rest easy and recover well. We will need you.
As you begin to separate, Sharam looks to you, Osen. He says, Advisor, I would have a word with you.
Of course.
While this is occurring, can I use my sanctuary staff to give them a place to like hide so people can't just see them? And
Do you want to like depart and leave the sanctuary staff with them?
do I have to leave it to create it, or can I just create it and leave?
If you want them, if they're gonna stay in this area, yeah, the staff like goes into the ground, and the region is around the staff.
What would you guys do? Just keep the staff and move on? Well, figure it out for themselves.
I could use my final mind.
The only thing that it would potentially affect is when I make rolls to see if anything really, really bad happens to the disparate groups across the map.
I could give them improved invisibility.
Because it would be a big advantage to them if they did have it.
Yeah.
I mean, the risk you're running is he's also one of our biggest chances off the island and out of the fog. So will Morgan let something happen to him or not? But you could.
I think he would.
I'll let things happen to everyone.
I think he'll let it happen. I mean, we've already died once in this, so
maybe
Morgan is merciless, and you know this.
you leave the staff, and he'll give him advantage.
I think I use the sanctuary staff and cast it, and give it to Sharam, or tell Sharam, be like, "Just bring this back to me whenever we're done."
Very well, my friend. I have to speak with our advisor for a moment. So he sort of separates with you.
Heck of a battle, eh? I did so much damage.
Well, I'm glad that you are finding your martial prowess out here. I did not see it, but I'm sure it was a spectacle.
It was something, all right.
I wanted to let you know that it is not lost on me that we have essentially all become glorified scouts with what we are doing lately and the way we have been separated. There is some use in it, but I must say that I do not enjoy it out here in the open so much as in a space where I can think and meditate and study and be with people who are studious and doing the same. Nonetheless, this is just beside the point. I heard rumors that perhaps when you were away with the Witchblades, you were approached about potentially doing some work for them at the expense of your work for us. I thought surely this could not be true, but I know that these are desperate times in a desperate place, and I just wanted to see, is there any truth to that, or are these baseless rumors?
Is he referring to us going to see the Witchblades and them like bestowing these different abilities on us?
He seems to be asking about whether you were offered a job by the Witchblades. Specifically, you're almost certain that he's referring to the sort of them wanting to use you as an informant, information gatherer, when the Eye was saying you should come do work for us instead because we can give you an actual spy network, and you haven't really been able to do that, even though you're skilled at that. And she did bestow upon you a glimpse of what it would be like to be able to use that remote site that she did, and you were able to access it once, actually.
Right, I do remember that. But did I make an agreement with them at any point? I haven't even given them any information.
You didn't actually make an agreement with them. You said you would think about it.
Yeah. There was a time recently where I was tempted with such. They offered me power. They tempted me with something they know I would want. I admit that this was a weak moment for me. However, I have done nothing to betray your trust.
I am glad to hear your answer in the way that you have answered. I know that I can trust you. I know that they made that offer. I was seeing how you would answer me with this, and I am glad to know that you are as trustworthy as I thought. Thank you for being honest with me. We will navigate these things together, and you are always at liberty to tell me if you need anything that we can provide, that Cryptis can provide for you to more better utilize your significant skill.
In the spirit of honesty, until recently there was something in me that was very dark. I was in the not-so-distant past under the thumb of something that you would consider evil. However, I have escaped that life. And thanks to many of the people that I've met here on the island, Father Raoul being one of them, I believe that I am free of this. And I hope to turn over a new leaf, as it were.
I am pleased to hear it, that you have escaped whatever this darkness is. But alas, looks like your party is moving. I will stay behind to make sure that Thimen gets to where he needs to go, and that we can figure out how to deal with this magical injury. Thank you for your work.
Thank you for your trust.
Okay. So you guys separate. And I'll move everybody over here to make the visual distinction. And you leave the sanctuary staff behind, so make sure that you take that out of your inventory. What I'll do, actually, I'm going to grab it from you real quick so I can remember what it does. Okay, great. I actually don't think you can take it out, so I'm going to do that for you. I'm going to put your Fatebreaker armor in its spot over here. Okay. Very good. So, you guys continue northward. Let me look at my reference sheet. And we'll end here soon. So this is not going to be quite a discovery question, but it is going to have a significant impact on what happens next. So this is going to be a group vote, but I'm going to allow you guys to choose which of these things you encounter next. The Titanians that escaped, actually, let me put it this way. You can choose any of the factions to run into, or you can find a crossroads crossing.
Ooh.
And let me pull up this map.
Look at all that island we still have left to explore.
So we've been playing for about a year.
That's
Not
nuts.
quite a year. Was it? Surely it's not quite a year.
I don't know, I'll
January.
check the date.
I think.
Yeah,
I think we started in January.
that is wild.
All right, so do you guys want to find a crossroads crossing or your choice of any of the factions? You are about 1 day's travel from the Knock Knock Lair.
And presumably the crossroads crossing would take us back to the Scarecrow.
Well, from what you know is after you find one, you can sort of use the crossroads crossings to go to any other crossroads crossing.
Ooh, true.
Yeah.
And you already have 2 on the map. It's just a matter of, is it going to be useful to find one here? So I'll show you the 2 you have on the map if I sync your view to this spot.
One by the tree and one by the Fey Gate.
Mm-hmm.
And where was the spot that Themin marked on the map where we're supposed to meet him? Is this okay? I mean, a crossroads would be pretty useful if we could find another exit and be able to traverse very quickly.
I concur. Wow.
Yeah, let's do the crossroads.
Right? Is everyone in agreement?
Yes.
Yeah.
As you're going through the jungle, you find a space where a rock has these lines on it. They're overgrown with ivy, but you recognize the symbol on the rock. This ivy has grown into the crevices, and you were told that if you just find these places and clean them up, that these would be the crossroads you could use. So,
Luminous
you come across this.
Inferno.
Luminous, you burn away with just a firebolt these spots, and there's sort of a slight glow to it, and you see that that's what the marker is, and you know there's got to be some sort of thing like a passageway somewhere nearby, and you realize that some of the rocks have formed in such a formation that there's sort of just a door-like shape you can see right through to another part of the jungle. But if this works like the other ones, walking through it will take you to the crossroads. What do you guys do?
Full steam ahead.
All
Time
right.
to visit an old friend.
You go inside, and the rest of your party is very interested to see this as well. As you cross in, you find that it's bright, it's daytime in these hay fields that you see just stretching in every direction. You know from doing this once before that the further you walk, you're not going anywhere unless you are let go somewhere. But as you find the crossroads ahead, there's not very far. You see that there is the keeper there as before, but there are several more people here. There's somewhat of a caravan here with a banner of black and purple and some gold elements to it. And it seems like there's set up almost like a trading stall type area. And as you get closer, you see that on this banner is the symbol of Draconia. And it looks like, as Draconians are known for their diplomacy and currency and tradesmanship and mercantile, even here on the island they have found a place where they have made somewhat of a headquarter. And that's where we're going to end.
So instead of it being one or the other, it was actually both. Got it.
One
I just
question.
needed to know who you were going to run into. Yes, what's your question?
Does the keeper look happy that the Draconians are there in his place? I just want to know the look on his face when he sees us.
Yeah, so he is he's sitting kind of on top of his post, like somehow he got up there, and he's just smoking his pipe and looking about. He doesn't seem agitated, and as he looks over, he sees you all over there, and you hear him say, "Well, look at that. Hadn't seen you all in a good long time, I hadn't. Glad to see you came back by, and you found another one of my crossroads openings. Good on y'all. Come on over. I'll show you all my new friends and what we've learned about all the things that are possible in a place like this that I just never knew until my eyes were open to the possibilities of mercantile." And we'll end it right there.
All right.
Whose kids are
In my
these?
head,
And what are they
The
doing in my
Crossroads
Lincoln?
Keeper is McConaughey. Like,
All right, so everybody, you can go ahead and get 46 XP more than you have.
46.
That'll be a little different for everybody, so use a calculator.
I'm sorry I was so useless tonight, guys, in combat. Y'all did great.
It happens.
It was definitely the Inferno that won us that battle.
it had an impact, that's for sure.
That's for sure.
How about we never do that again?
It's definitely going to happen again at some point.
There's going to be a time where all you have to do is find a way. Like, imagine if you were all immune to the burning effect. Which,
I
wait,
am immune
hold
to
on.
it. I am immune to it.
You are immune. You didn't even have to be making these rolls. Oh, you're immune to the burning effect. So
yeah, I still had
technically-
I still had the roll not to get damage.
Yeah.
I wasn't worried about the burning. It was more the damage itself. But I had some good rolls. So
Yeah. All right. Very good. Thanks for playing, guys. We'll continue this. I know that I won't be able to do it on the 31st. I mean, probably weren't planning to do that anyway.
You mean the next week, the 25th?
Well, I was thinking ahead to
the first.
Never mind. Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah, so I can't do next week. I'm gonna be out of town.
Well, then the first might actually work then if November 1st works for everybody. But
I'll let you know when time gets closer.
All right. Anyway.
Probably should do work for me, but I might be a little late.
Okay, we'll figure something out. We'll do it. We're getting closer to things happening here, so
all right,
it's working out. Thanks, guys. See ya.
See y'all.
Yeah.
Bye.